patient because I know that there's been that great desire to get things moving, and that's great, that eagerness.
Well, since the church burned, parishioners have been holding services in their banquet hall next door. Now that plans are finally being accomplished, many are anxious to have their home back. Of course, there's still so much more work to go. They're planning on completing the entire church within the next 2 years. Let's go ahead and get a check on a brisk Thursday morning. Jordan?
It is chilly. I'll put money down that the pumpkin spice latte is going to be the most popular drink at Starbucks today because temperatures will stay in the upper 50s throughout the morning and then only into the 60s for some spots this afternoon, so well below normal for this time of the year. Thanks to that cold front, north-northwest winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's what it looks like through the rest of the morning. 50s are staying in play till 9 o'clock. Isolated shower chances, I think we'll lose those by sunrise, so we'll keep those clouds around throughout the rest of the day. That's going to help keep temperatures down well below normal once again. So there's that cold front, barely made it through the Brazos Valley. Unfortunately, the city of Houston did not get to feel the effects of that as it has pretty much stalled and will continue to fall apart over the next couple of days. Here's a look at radar. A couple showers near Hamilton, Burnett, out towards San Saba. So we might get a sprinkle or two this morning, most of it falling apart by sunrise, and Future Track will do a pretty good job of showing that. So those clouds will stick around once again this afternoon. Maybe some mostly cloudy skies by the evening hours. If we can lose some of the cloud cover tonight, that will allow temperatures to drop even more. But I do think we'll probably hold on to the clouds through most of your day today and even tomorrow. So temperatures now 57 in Waco, 55 Killeen, San Saba down to 53, still low 60s out to the east along I-45, so everyone's waking up to a nice refreshing morning. Definitely a little bit less humid than we've had the past couple of days too. So 66 for Waco, Temple, Killeen, 66 Georgetown, and then 70s as you go east into the Brazos Valley. Now most of us staying in the 60s. That's going to be our coldest high temperature that we have had on this date, potentially for today, breaking the previous record of 73. Set back in 1935. So about 20, 25 degrees below normal where we should be. That's our theme this afternoon. 77 tomorrow, so nice cooler day for your Friday. Then it warms up for the weekend, but at least the 90s are not in that 10-day forecast. We're saying goodbye to those for now. 80s on repeat into next week with isolated storm chances and then mostly sunny by next weekend.
Jordan, thank you. It's a leading cause of cancer death in men.
Prostate cancer kills thousands every year. Our Dennis Turner joins us with a look at the link between this killer and our diet. Plus, gone too soon, how a Brazos Valley mother is using her loss to help other families dealing with a serious health issue. Time now is approaching 6:12 on this Thursday. We appreciate you watching Good Morning Texas.
It's just about 6:15. This week is Suicide Prevention Week. After losing her son to suicide, a Brazos Valley mother is encouraging families to reach out and get help before it's too late. The sudden death of Miguel Rodriguez left an emptiness in his mother, Monica Palacio's life, along with many unanswered questions. Rodriguez took his own life after his girlfriend broke up with him. After his passing, Palacios wanted to make sure his voice was never forgotten. She's been sharing her son's story in hopes others will think twice before making an irreversible choice.
His story was able to save the life of another young boy. Really? And to this day, I thank God that my family and I have been there for him, and he is here, and he's with his family. If his story helped one person, how many more can it help? But I tell my son, I was always there for him. I will always be here for him, and I will continue to be his voice.
Palacios says she's been able to heal thanks to the help she's received from the Brazos Valley Coalition on Suicide Prevention and wants others to know they can ask for help too. This weekend, an event in Copper's Cove is looking to raise awareness of teen suicide. The 4th annual Teen Suicide Awareness and Prevention Candlelight Walk is happening this Saturday at Copper's Cove South Park from 8 to 10 p.m. The event's free and consists of a candlelight ceremony and a butterfly tree to share memories of loved ones. There will also be guest speakers and refreshments. COVID-19 guidelines will be in place at the event.
Prostate cancer is the leading cause of cancer death in American men. Only lung cancer kills more men than prostate cancer, which has had more studies into its link with diet than any other kind of cancer. 25 News reporter Dennis Turner shows us the link, which despite lots of studies, researchers still don't fully understand.
The American Cancer Society says 1 in 9 men, guys like me, will develop prostate cancer during their lifetime. Scary, right? Well, maybe not, if you follow your doctor's advice to eat better. That's right. One important key to fighting prostate cancer could come from your kitchen.
In such a way that diet is important to the rest of your life in general. So prostate cancer is no different in terms of how diet impacts your life.
Lots of vegetables, lean meats in moderation, cutting simple carbohydrates and fats can help. Research shows doing the opposite gets opposite results.
A poor diet leads to higher incidence of prostate cancer. It also leads to worse prostate cancer outcomes if you do develop prostate cancer.
And while most will push you to fresh fruits and vegetables, dietitians will tell you frozen items can often have the hidden advantage. Why?
Frozen foods can often be more nutrient dense than the fresh options because frozen foods are frozen at peak ripeness.
But resist the American temptation to overdo. Just because one helping of this cures that does not mean 10 times that will make you 10 times healthier.
People who are obese eat a high amount of red meats, drink milk, eat a lot of fat. Those are probably the biggest risk factors for, modifiable risk factors at least, for aggressive prostate cancer and worse outcomes.
Throughout the day, we'll look at superfoods, cultural drawbacks, and share the latest on this growing cancer threat. Ahead on the midday edition of 25 News, we'll look at the specifics of why doctors recommend these fruits and vegetables. In Waco, Dennis Turner, 25 News.
Dennis, thank you for that information. Be sure to stick with 25 News throughout the day, as he just mentioned, as we continue to explore the relationship between diet and prostate cancer.
An adaptation of a classic novel years in the making.
We'll bring you the first look at the sci-fi epic Dune.
Time now is 6:18 on your Thursday morning. We're so close to Friday, everybody, and that sun is coming up soon. Stay with us. It's 6:21, an Oscar-winning director's first film, digitally remastered and headed to the theaters. Plus an actor welcoming a new addition to his family. Here's David Daniel with what's happening in entertainment this morning.
이 수사밥도 먹는 거고 내가 다른 거 몰라도 이 사람 보는 눈은 있다는 거야.
Fans of Parasite have a chance to see Oscar-winning filmmaker Bong Joon-ho's first film, Memories of Murder. The 2003 thriller, based on a true story, has been digitally remastered and will be shown in U.S. theaters October 19th and 20th, followed by a conversation between Bong Joon-ho and fellow filmmaker Edgar Wright. Info at fathomevents.com. Alec and Hilaria Baldwin have a basketball team. They've confirmed on Instagram they've welcomed their 5th child together. Wednesday, both posted this photo of mother, father, and their new baby boy, no name yet.
Open my eyes. I felt that I was home. I have found home, and it was the ocean.
Here's your first look at She is the Ocean, which follows 9 remarkable women with special connections to the sea. Filmed in 4K, the documentary on these women of the waves, surfers, divers, explorers, and scientists arrives in traditional and virtual cinemas October 16th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
What about mermaids? Hey, fans of the famed science fiction novel Dune are in for a treat as we're getting a first look at the big screen adaptation.
Go, go, go!
Oh man, that looks so good. The star-studded cast includes Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, and Josh Brolin. The film will let the spice flow when it hits theaters this December. I say maybe a road trip or a field trip. The whole group.
What does that mean, let the spice flow?
You gotta see. It's a
line from the book.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, is it pumpkin spice or cinnamon or what do we?
Spice Girls. Yeah, they were in that movie
Sporty
years
Spice.
ago when the book was written. Sporty Spice. Hey, you can let the coffee flow, whatever you want to flow in this Good Morning Texas mug because we're handing one out today.
Today's winner is DIANE EAGANS. DIANE will let you know how you can pick up your Good Morning Texas mug. It's spicy.
It is spicy. Hey, if you didn't win today like Diane, but you'd like to get your hands on one of these things, you can do it. It's very simple. Just go to kxxv.com/contest. You click the mug, and then you enter your email address, even if it's a net zero. address. It's okay. We're giving away a mug every weekday morning from 5:30 until 6:30 a.m. Join us to see if you're a spicy winner. Hey, 6:24 now on this Thursday, and meteorologist Jordan Evans, you have been right all week. You warned us. It is nice and cool outside.
It is nice and cool. And speaking of spice, pumpkin spice is going to be the theme probably in the Starbucks drive-thru today, as it's going to be a nice taste of fall. Look at this. Morning temperatures in the 50s. This has been a first since June 12th. So enjoy the cooler air we are going to have today and likely tomorrow too, as the cold front just kind of fizzled out over the Brazos Valley. So most of us are in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll keep the 50s in play through 9 o'clock. Isolated shower chances. I do think they'll fizzle out by sunrise, and then the clouds will stick around all day. So that's going to help keep temperatures down, and we'll warm up just a little bit more. 57 in Central Texas, 58 San Antonio, still in the 40s out to the Texas Panhandle, but notice how the front just kind of fizzled out and put some brakes on by the time it got into East Texas. So Houston not feeling the effects of that. Unfortunately, they're still at 79 degrees. As we take you through radar, a couple showers near Hamilton, San Saba, down toward Burnett. Again, most of that fizzling out probably by sunrise, as Future Track does a pretty good job of showing that. But notice again, the clouds sticking around today and this throughout the rest of the afternoon. That's going to help keep temperatures down, probably below 70 degrees for a lot of us. So this could be our coldest day that we have, at least setting a new record for Central Texas for a colder high temperature. 57 in Waco, 53 in San Saba. Look at these highs back into the mid-60s for Waco, Temple, Killeen. So that would again break our previous record high of 73 set back in 1935. 77 tomorrow. 86 Saturday, and then we've got 88 for your Sunday. So we warm up quickly into the weekend, got some fall-like weather for the rest of your work week. And then the good news, guys, is we have 90 or no 90s through the rest of this 10-day forecast. We might still get a couple here in September, but at least we're getting a nice cool down with those rain chances remaining isolated Sunday through Monday, all into next week, and then mostly sunny by the weekend. We'll have more Good Morning Texas coming up after the break.
Now at 6:30, kids are back in class at most area schools. So how can you tell if your child is sick with COVID or something else? Health experts explain what to do when the sniffles strike.
And new audio that claims President Trump downplayed the coronavirus threat. What else the recordings reveal?
Plus, help for a first responder. How the community is coming together to support a sheriff's deputy who lost it all in a house fire. It's Thursday, September 10th, 2020, and Good Morning Texas continues right now.
Schools are in session, and with that, some believe sickness is sure to spike. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Joe Gum.
And I'm Lindsay Lippman. The medical community says just like any school year, kids will come down with the common cold, strep throat, stomach bugs, and more. But with COVID on our minds, we may mistake our child's symptoms. 25 News reporter Erin Heft brings us advice from our local health districts.
With COVID and common school year illnesses around, parents across the region are gearing up for what very may well be a confusing flu season.
Call me first and let's go through a checklist of what you're experiencing.
Mom of 3, Elisa Chamberlain, says she and her family have a plan.
Everyone's got thermometers, and so they actually check themselves.
Ready to call the doctor if they need, which is what the health districts advise.
Contact your pediatrician. Whether you think it's COVID or it's sniffles, it could be strep throat, it could be the flu, it could be anything. So start with your pediatrician and talk to them about what your needs are.
Health districts across the region have bolstered their websites with resources for you, listing many facilities in our area prepared with COVID tests if that's what's necessary.
They are available from Ascension Providence, Baylor Scott and White, and Family Health Center. All offer COVID testing. The urgent cares also offer COVID testing.
Tracking up-to-date numbers on cases of the coronavirus in your area, keeping you abreast of what's going on, giving you options when you need them.
You know, if you're a parent and you're concerned, my kid's not feeling right, they've got, it could be anything. So call your pediatrician first and make sure that their health is taken care of.
And even as we wait for a COVID vaccine, flu shots are now available if you choose to get one. In Temple, Erin Heft, 25 News.
Erin, thank you. Now on your screen right now are Bell, Brazos, and McLennan County resources if you have questions on how to get yourself or your student tested for COVID-19.
Turning now to the latest COVID-19 numbers for Central Texas and the Brazos Valley, starting with Brazos County reporting 1,025 active cases, Bell reporting 505, McLennan reporting 496, Limestone has 418, Coryell 208, Robertson 29, Lampasas 21, and Milam County reporting 13 active cases. Across the state of Texas, we're seeing more than 73,000 active cases. Across the country, more than 3.7 million. And globally, we're seeing more than 8.1 million active cases.
President Trump on the defensive this morning after released audio shows he downplayed the threat of the coronavirus to the American people. The recordings, part of a series of interviews the president did with journalist Bob Woodward. Here's ABC's Faith Abube.
On camera, on Fox, and on Twitter, President Donald Trump still on the defense after admitting on tape that he downplayed the coronavirus, which has killed nearly 190,000 Americans.
I'm the leader of the country. I can't be jumping up and down and scaring people. I don't want to scare people. I want people not to panic, and that's exactly what I did.
The newly released audio recordings are part of 18 on-the-record interviews famed journalist Bob Woodward did with the president for his upcoming book, Rage. Excerpts of the recording obtained by CNN reveal the president understood the deadly threat posed by the coronavirus as far back as February, before the first U.S. death from the virus, but still downplayed the severity to the American people.
It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus.
That was the president on February 7th. Just 3 weeks later, Trump contradicting himself in public.
This is a flu. This is like a flu. Within a couple of days, it's going to be down to close to zero.
And then in March, a stunning admission to Woodward. The president saying this in another recorded interview.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic.
As the fallout continues, the president on Twitter now calling Woodward's book a political hit job. On the campaign trail, Joe Biden calling the president's actions totally irresponsible.
He knew how dangerous it was. And while this deadly disease ripped through our nation, he failed to do his job on purpose. It was a life and death betrayal of the American people.
And when ABC News asked if Trump should be blamed for the thousands of deaths from the virus, Biden responded,
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
And Trump says he gave Woodward access to the White House to, quote, give it a shot. The White House says that proves the president is transparent with nothing to hide. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Well, President Trump releases a list of possible Supreme Court nominees if he's elected to a second term. Texas Senator Ted Cruz is among the list of potential nominees. Cruz is being included among 20 possible picks for the High Court if President Trump wins a second term in November and a seat later becomes open. Cruz's name has come up before as a potential Supreme Court appointee, but he said he isn't interested. Attorney General Ken Paxton warning Texans this morning about a text message scam involving false package delivery notices and a fraudulent link. The text messages usually claim that a package is pending delivery and request the recipient to claim ownership by providing their credit card and personal information. If you get one of these text messages, do not click on any links, delete the text, and block the number. A McLennan County deputy is getting some support after her house caught fire last week. Officer Annie Anthony was able to get herself, her son, and her boyfriend out safely in the early morning hours of September 2nd. She had working smoke detectors, but she lost everything else in the fire. Now her colleagues are showing support by starting a GoFundMe page.
I did not expect all this outpouring love and everyone pitching in, helping us out through these hard times, and we are just so grateful for everyone who has helped. Without those working smoke detectors, I might not be here today, so I'm very fortunate that mine went off when it did.
If you'd like to donate, we have the link for the GoFundMe on your screen. Just make sure you type it in lowercase. So far, the page has raised more than $6,000.
The death toll continuing to rise from the historic wildfires raging on the West Coast. In Northern California, at least 4 people are dead as thousands flee their homes. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
This morning, high winds and high heat fueling nearly 200 major fires on the West Coast.
some of them wiping out entire neighborhoods. New video near Portland, Oregon showing rows of homes destroyed. These satellite images showing towns before and then after the fire.
This is insane.
Oh, you can feel it.
Oh my God, people, go.
Oregon's governor saying at least 35 large fires are burning across the state, warning the damages could be catastrophic.
This could be the greatest loss of human lives and property due to wildfire in our state's history.
Overnight, a 12-year-old boy and his grandmother identified as two of those victims from a wildfire south of Portland. The two disappeared early Tuesday after getting separated from their family as flames forced them to evacuate. The boy's father spoke to reporters earlier in the day when rescuers were still searching for them.
My family means everything to me.
And now, tragedy in Washington, where a 1-year-old has died near Spokane. Firefighters finding the family's severely burned truck near their home. The child's parents left in critical condition. In California, nearly 14,000 firefighters called to the front lines, fighting dozens of major wildfires. In the Bay Area, an apocalyptic orange-tinged sky. San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge barely visible in this picture, taken in the middle of the day. And now, hundreds of thousands of families facing the task of rebuilding their lives.
The house ain't even recognizable. It's just not, there's nothing. I'm so surprised that the people was able to get out of here alive, looking at what there is. It's hard to believe.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Thank you, Kenneth. Now, it may seem that wildfires are becoming the new normal for states out west this time of the year. Well, thanks to our warming planet, that has been true for the last several years. Take a look at this. New data from Climate Central. It shows that the West has warmed nearly 2 degrees on average since the 1980s. That might not seem like a lot, but that has caused the number of acres burned by wildfires to explode. Taking a look at California in particular, over 12 million acres have burned between 1980 and 2019, which is more than any other western state. Climate Central says human-caused climate change is literally adding fuel to wildfires with warmer temperatures, worsening drought, which creates dry vegetation and elevates the risk of fires igniting and spreading. After the size and intensity of this year's fires, it has prompted the discussion of a new mega fire era. Well, as we check out your Central Texas forecast, we don't have any wildfires for us, so that is definitely the good news. But take a look at what we're seeing right now on the Extraco Eagle Eye camera. And Hewitt and Woodway, still dark outside. We've got the clouds in play and temperatures, look at this, in the 50s for them to start the day. This has been a first since June 12th for us, so enjoy the nice fall-like morning you're going to have and through the entire day as the clouds are going to help keep temperatures down this afternoon. In fact, we're keeping the 50s around until 9 o'clock this morning. Isolated shower chances likely to die off by sunrise, and then those mostly cloudy and not cloudy skies sticking around all day long. Look at Amarillo, still at 40, Lubbock's at 43, Midland at 45, 50 in Oklahoma City. So there's the cold front. It kind of put the brakes on itself by the time it got to East Texas. So Houston, unfortunately, not feeling the effects of that, still in the upper 70s there. And they're not going to cool down too much either in the near future. So look at radar. We've got the couple of showers tracked for you up near Hamilton, San Saba, Burnett. Just some light rain, nothing in terms of the thunder that we saw yesterday. And we're going to keep that pretty much on the low going throughout the rest of the day. Future Track does a pretty good job of clearing that out, keeping the clouds in play. What that's going to do to our temperatures is it is really going to keep them down as we go into the rest of your day. So here's your 50s across all of Central Texas. San Saba down to 53. Bryan College Station cooling off too at 62 with highs there back into the 70s. Waco, Temple, Killeen, we're at 66 this afternoon. So that could be our new coldest high temperature on record here in Central Texas since 1935. That would definitely be a first